My wife and I were blindsided by our 21-year-old daughter over her engagement to a 36-year-old man. My daughter is 21, and her fiancé is 36. She just graduated from college and moved out on her own this past fall. My wife and I are 58 and 55 years old, respectively, and we also have 2 sons. When my children were young, we had a close family friend who passed away tragically in 2001, leaving behind a 16-year-old boy. We took him into our home for over 4 years while he finished school, and he was able to stand on his own. We gave him a substantial monetary donation to start his own business, which has since become wildly successful. I never minded any of this one bit because I always saw him as one of my own children. He is now 36 years old. This past Sunday, we had a family dinner during which my daughter decided to inform us that not only were they engaged, but they had also been seeing each other for the past 3 years. My wife, sons, and I all feel incredibly betrayed and blindsided by this revelation. The amount of lies and secret keeping they had to engage in to keep this relationship from us is astonishing. The large age difference is also very disturbing to us. I told both of them, in no uncertain terms, that I did not approve of this relationship, that he was no longer allowed in my home, and as long as my daughter continued this relationship, nor was she. I now see that alienating my daughter would cause more harm. I want to be there for her, but I do not want her to think I'm accepting of this relationship and want it to end immediately. How can I talk to her and make her realize that this relationship is dangerous, predatory, and disturbing, while still making her feel safe and welcome? Edit. This isn't a matter of me not wanting my daughter to be in a relationship. This is a man who met her when she was 1, and he was 15. He changed her diapers and babysat for her. This relationship is unacceptable, and I want to make her realize that while doing as little damage as possible. Also, in case this wasn't clear enough, yes, he helped raise her. He babysat her, changed her diapers, came to family dinners every week, went on family vacations, etc. He was a constant part of her life since she was 1. Update 1. Yesterday, we went to my daughter's apartment because we know Jackson works all day Saturdays. I first apologized to her for my initial reaction that came out of anger, making it clear that her safety and well-being were my first concerns. We had a long discussion, and there were some things that my daughter said that alarmed me. These aren't necessarily in the order in which we discussed them, just things that stick out in my head. The first thing was that she said she knew he loved her since she was 14, at which point Jackson was 29. She says that they never did anything intimate until she was after 18. However, since their engagement has now become public, concerned family members have contacted me with events that seemed innocent at the time but now seem suspicious. For example, my wife's sister told us about a time when the kids, my daughter, one of my 2 sons, and Jackson were over at her house. My daughter was 16, and Jackson was 31. My sister-in-law said that she heard Jackson leaving my daughter's room in the morning. At the time, she didn't think much of it because there have been times when the siblings or cousins have fallen asleep in each other's rooms after watching a movie late at night or something. My son also told me about a time when he had run into my daughter in town, when she was 15, with Jackson when she was supposed to be in school. We asked her what it was she loved about him. She gave us a bunch of reasons, but one of the things that I find alarming is she said how generous and caring he has always been to her. She told us about all of the extra things he would give her, for example, for her birthday or holidays, separate from the rest of the family. She doesn't think this is anything suspicious because he said that the reason he was giving her additional gifts was that she was always overshadowed by her brothers, and deserved extra attention that she didn't get from her mother and me. My daughter told us that the decision to keep the relationship a secret was mutual. They thought that if her mother and I found out about the relationship, we would stop paying for her apartment and school tuition, but now she has graduated. She said they did not tell her friends because they didn't think it was right to ask them to lie to us as well, but his friends were aware of the relationship. My wife asked if she had felt bad or guilty about all the lying they had to do to keep the relationship a secret. We were having weekly dinners for 3 years when they had been dating while they sat across the table from us, pretending they weren't. Our daughter had even made up boys she told us she had been dating at college. A few times, she had posted photos of herself with a male friend and had told us that was a man she was dating. She said that she felt guilty about lying, but Jackson had told her that it would be worth it in the long run. I introduced the idea of family therapy. She said that she did not need it. I told her that she was always welcome in our home, though Jackson is not. She would like Jackson and me to speak, but I do not think that is a wise idea right now. Update 2. I have received many messages asking for an update. The truth is my wife and I have decided to just accept the relationship. We have made it clear that we think it is inappropriate, and we are furious and devastated at when the relationship began. However, my daughter has admitted that the reason they opened up about their relationship and engagement is because my daughter is currently 16 weeks pregnant with their first child. For the health of my daughter and grandchild, we believe the best thing to do is be supportive and make it clear to her that our door is always open to her. Unfortunately, my daughter has made it clear that she does not want any animosity or hostile feelings regarding her fiancé. We are no longer going to pursue charges against him because we do not believe that is best for the situation right now. Understandably, my 2 sons are not happy with what's going on. There was a physical altercation between Jackson and my oldest son, however, that has since been settled, and all parties have agreed to behave amicably for the sake of my daughter and her child. Thank you everyone, for your words of advice and encouragement.